Hello YouTubers, this is your 6 covered. We're here today to talk about digital camouflage. Been looking on YouTube, seeing what everybody's doing out there, and one guy in particular, I really liked what he was doing. His name's something Rex. I'll put it up in the post. But man, the guy is knowledgeable. He has a lot of stuff on long-range sniper stuff. Seems to know a lot about what he's talking about. So he had some great stuff. One of his videos that he has posted is about digital camouflage. So after watching the video a couple times, kind of got me in the mood to try it. So this gun started out as an 80 plus lower. Did all that stuff a few years ago and got tired of looking at it silver. Didn't really want another black gun because those are evil. So they say. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to give it a shot. Some of the colors that we'll talk about today are, it's Rust-Oleum. There is Duracoat out there, which is a lot, it's a lot more durable, and but this is a project I wanted to do in a day, and if it gets scratched up, it's good. Call it some battle wounds as far as that goes. A couple scratches isn't going to hurt it. I think the gun looks really good, and it's easy to touch up if needed. So we can talk about some of the items you're going to need. You're going to need duct tape. You're going to need latex gloves. Sea sponges. This is the key to the whole process right here, is the sea sponges. I got a whole bag of these for like $3.50 at Walmart. And some gloves. I'm not sure how much those were. Roll of painter's tape. And I used 4 colors of Rust-Oleum. I have more there, but I had them from the past. They're basically $4.59 or something like that. Before you get started, you need to either degrease your gun with a degreaser, carburetor cleaner, or whatever the case was. I used rubbing alcohol and some rags. So I just soaked up the rubbing alcohol, wiped it all down real good, taped underneath the mag well, taped the barrel end, and taped over the serial number that I put on it for making it. So first things first, I started the whole base coat and painted the entire gun this color. And you know what, when I first started, I was like, oh man, I hope this turns out, because right now the gun looks just so-so. But as I progressed and started adding the colors, it really started to pop out, and it looks really good. I hope you guys like it. So here's how it works. After you spray down the whole entire thing, and everything's covered up and taped off that you don't want to be colored or painted, give it a nice, give it like 2 or 3 coats, thin coats. Let it dry, let it do its process, and then start with the darkest color. Okay, so take the lid off, spray it in some some type of thing that'll hold the liquid so you can dip the sponges into. The reason why the sea sponge works so well is it has a lot of holes. It's a lot more porous. So as you dip it into the liquid that you sprayed, you just start touching it. As you go along the first coat or so, it's going to look like some type of small animal stepped in paint and walked all over your gun. So you just put it where you want it. You go through the whole thing. Let it dry. Second thing we did, and what Rex said to do, which worked out perfect because I was needing a color of this color, was after black, I used this color. And I did a whole process and I went through the thing. But I wanted to transition from these two colors. So what I did was I mixed them. And on his video, he actually mixes, I believe, these two same colors. But it makes a really nice color that transitions down into this green. So spray these together, make a nice little puddle. Make sure you get it all where you want it. You know, get another sponge. Don't use the same sponge, but make sure you test it each time you get a new sponge to get a very small dots kind of, instead of one big. You don't want a big globs. It won't turn out right and it'll look horrible. So find a piece of the sponge where there's just tiny bits touching, but you'll end up with that digital look. So as you do that, test it and then start working your gun. Spray more if you need to, mix it up. Keep daubing it. And then at the end, I used a little bit of this stuff. I didn't really care for this color. In the location that I'm at, it's desert, sagebrushy kind of stuff, but the other colors work better in my area. So I did a little bit of this, not too much. And then I went back to the coyote brown, where I had spots where there was too much black. I would just dab this over the top. If I had dark areas that just seemed to pop out, I would I'd tone them down with back to the coyote brown. And I think it turned out well. I hope you guys think it turned out well. Tell me what you think. What else? Other than that, I'm excited. I really like this. I really like the look of it. And I don't have to see the aluminum lower anymore, so it's nice. It ties it all together. I'll be working on the scope once I figure out which one I want to put on top of it, and then maybe I'll post another video. So until then, is your 6 covered?